Biblical view, betrayal. 2a. Betrayal is the breaking or violation of an assumed trust, confidence, friendship, or contract that automatically produces an emotional, moral, and psychological conflict within a relationship. I. Creates unintended consequences. 2. It calls for an assessment as to its actual reality, or if a misunderstanding, or misinformation. 3. It creates emotions of anger, hurt. 4. The possibility of stabbed in the back or double cross are evaluated. 2. Joseph, a lesson in how to handle betrayal. A. Joseph sold into slavery. Genesis 37:18-36 New Living Translation, NLT. 18 When Joseph's brothers saw him coming, they recognized him in the distance. As he approached, they made plans to kill him. 19 Here comes the dreamer, they said. 20 Come on, let's kill him and throw him into one of these cisterns. We can tell our father, a wild animal has eaten him. Then we'll see what becomes of his dreams. 21 But when Reuben heard of their scheme, he came to Joseph's rescue. Let's not kill him, he said. 22 Why should we shed any blood? Let's just throw him into this empty cistern here in the wilderness. Then he'll die without our laying a hand on him. Reuben was secretly planning to rescue Joseph and return him to his father. 23 So when Joseph arrived, his brothers ripped off the beautiful robe he was wearing. 24 Then they grabbed him and threw him into the cistern. Now the cistern was empty, there was no water in it. 25 Then, just as they were sitting down to eat, they looked up and saw a caravan of camels in the distance coming toward them. It was a group of Ishmaelite traders taking a load of gum, balm, and aromatic resin from Gilead down to Egypt. 26 Judah said to his brothers, What will we gain by killing our brother? We'd have to cover up the crime. 27 Instead of hurting him, let's sell him to those Ishmaelite traders. After all, he is our brother, our own flesh and blood. And his brothers agreed. 28 So when the Ishmaelites, who were Midianite traders, came by, Joseph's brothers pulled him out of the cistern and sold him to them for 20 pieces of silver. And the traders took him to Egypt. 29 Some time later, Reuben returned to get Joseph out of the cistern. When he discovered that Joseph was missing, he tore his clothes in grief. 30 Then he went back to his brothers and lamented, The boy is gone. What will I do now? 31 Then the brothers killed a young goat and dipped Joseph's robe in its blood. 32 They sent the beautiful robe to their father with this message, Look at what we found. Doesn't this robe belong to your son? 33 Their father recognized it immediately. Yes, he said, it is my son's robe. A wild animal must have eaten him. Joseph has clearly been torn to pieces. 34 Then Jacob tore his clothes and dressed himself in burlap. He mourned deeply for his son for a long time. 35 His family all tried to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. I will go to my grave mourning for my son, he would say, and then he would weep. 36 Meanwhile, the Midianite traders arrived in Egypt, where they sold Joseph to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. Potiphar was captain of the palace guard. B. When the brothers tried to get rid of Joseph, God intervened and worked his will and purpose without anyone knowing that God was watching every move and bringing good through it all. C. Joseph did not allow the betrayal to destroy him. His confidence was in God. D. Listened to his words to his brothers, they were scared, thinking he might want revenge. The work of releasing forgiveness to the brothers had been done out of their sight and privately in the presence of God. Joseph held no grudges. Genesis 50:19-21 New Living Translation, NLT. 19 But Joseph replied, Don't be afraid of me. Am I God, that I can punish you? 20 You intended to harm me, but God intended it all for good. He brought me to this position so I could save the lives of many people. 21 No, don't be afraid. I will continue to take care of you and your children. So he reassured them by speaking kindly to them. D. Joseph got the big picture. He did not act as God. He did not put himself in the position of a judge. He did not try for revenge. Joseph treated his brothers with kindness. Thanks, Joseph, for showing us how we should act and respond. E. When we realize that we cannot trust a particular person, acting wisely includes taking steps to avoid being hurt again and again. I. Distance ourselves to a safe place. 2. Make no steps or threats towards revenge. 3. Leave revenge or repayment to God. He does a better job than we can. 4. Release forgiveness to break the emotional damage happening inside. B. Exercise deliberate and prudent self protection.